Welcome back to Garage Kei and welcome to the behind the scenes of the ScrapAlto video. And it looks like it's going to have to be modified straight out of the packet, so what's unusual about that? Yep, Garage Kei and windscreens. I put that massive crack in this windscreen. Can you even see it? Can you see it? There it is. That massive crack there. I put that in there. How did you do it? Well, I was gonna slide it underneath the blue Alto, so I just put it down like this, just from about that high. Just went like that, and it went just shattered. Well, not shattered, but broke. So, Garage Kei and windscreens doesn't work. Have a look there. What is going on there, do you think? That is a crack. So my guess is that the bungle in the front that caused the crack in the part that I just cut actually pushed the frame rails through to here. And if we look, can we see it from the other side? I wonder. It's going to be around here somewhere, I suppose, where this whole piece, remember it was damaged here from a front impact, has actually pushed the firewall back. Here too we can see some damage. Interesting. A lot of rust getting around. But all this is very interesting to look at because when I go to attend to my blue car, I'm going to have to address all of these same spots where it's rusting. So it's nice to know that this frame rail actually goes in and stops. So if there's like a hole in here somewhere, I could poke the Noxidol in, point it that way, and then just blast it and protect all of the inside of this frame rail. That'll make me feel better about owning such an old car if the cavities are all full of Noxidol. Yeah. You can see there's lots of bits of rust. Even this hole here, I could blast through there with some Noxidol and try and fill this cavity with anti-rust stuff. Anyway, that's that. What do you think? Alto with no roof at the front? Pretty cool. And that's it. We have fixed it so that now we have one manpower. You can just put your legs down through here and kick and off you go. Now, can we have a look in here? Why, oh why, do you rust? Why do you rust here? Oh no, not there. Over there. Why are you rusting? I can't, there's no real clear sign as to why. Because it's not rusting from the bottom up, it doesn't look like. Or is it? The lighting in here is so bad. It's incredible. Let's use my phone. Okay, now we can see what we're sort of dealing with here and why. Why does that rust? I don't really know. Any ideas, people? Like, it does sort of seem like, well, there's a join there, and maybe they just don't seam seal it properly, and that's the result. I mean, it is 2 layers thick. You can see there's like it is 2 layers thick. Maybe we can see it here better. See the 2 layers? So maybe it's rusting between the layers. I'm not really sure, but it is going further in though. And there's a bug in there too, what the hell? Okay, so spraying Noxidol in there is a very good idea. Through that hole and that hole, just go ham. Otherwise this will probably happen to you. Okay? One thing is very clear, and that is that I'm going to need a lot more cutting discs for the grinder. The more discs I use, the more expensive this is to cut up. Now, do I want to keep that? Do I want that? I don't think I need it, but I might need that. So I think I'll keep that bracket. My car might have had that bracket removed for some reason, so I will be wanting that. Don't destroy that one. 2 layers here as well. It's a bit hot out in summer in Japan. Look at that. That's all that's left. More to go. Let's have a look at this because you'll never see it again. Not on anyone else's channel. You can actually see what the inside of the Alto is like and why you should rust protect or why you shouldn't rust protect. Up to you. But yeah, that's what it looks like in there. So look at that, a wasp's nest. How are we doing? Oh, it burned the lens. Oh, that's wonderful. My lens has got all burn marks and shit in it, but it was probably worth it. That's probably good footage. Yeah, okay. So now I'm out of blades. I've got to go to the hardware store and buy some more blades for the angle grinder, so that's what we're doing. I'm kind of thinking I might want to take some of this metal to the scrapyard now rather than trying to do it all in one day, but another part of me is like, I can't be bothered. I got to show you this too. I tried to rescue that bracket. Tried to rescue it, but it's there's more spot welds in that than I can find to drill out, and if I start doing that, there's not going to be anything left of the bracket anyway. The blue one doesn't have one, so I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that I don't need it. I can probably live without it, and I might even still be able to buy that piece new and just drill some holes in the floor and bolt it in. It's not going to be for anything structural, I don't think, so it's probably just some kind of bracket for the dash, but I mean, the blue car has the same dash, so I can't understand why that would be overly necessary. Yeah, don't know. But it's getting left behind. I'm just driving to the scrapyard with basically half an Alto in the car. How do you like that? Just got done at the scrapyard. Scored a total of 23 bucks, 2,300 yen. So, I mean, I'm not mad about that. Are you mad about that? Pretty good for, you know, that'll pay for the blades at least. I got 2 packs of blades with the money that I got from the scrap. So hopefully this, like, what I've got left here should actually be heavier than what I've already taken to the scrapyard. So should at least cover the blades. I should get away with this without having to pay anything. That would be nice. If I get 10 or 20 bucks in my pocket, that would be nice too. I did manage to get rid of 3 of the wheels that were on this thing. They're just junk to me, so they've gone to scrap. And I got the 23 bucks or whatever it was. So yeah, pretty good. Put a blade in, let's get back to cutting. It's just a second skin that runs through there that I can't cut through. Using the blade upside down is very uncomfortable because the sparks come straight at me, but it's really the only thing I can do. I'm just going to have to. Maybe I can go from the side. But now the thing's going to fall on me once I've cut through it, so that's going to suck too. What do we got here? A lot of rust. And I don't really see any reason why. I don't know why it rusts there. Just does. Rusts there too, for some reason. Well, this is where, like, over here, just from the leaking tent roof, we've got a puddle of water sitting there. So, like, if that bung wasn't there, the water would have run straight out, right? So, it's almost worth... I mean, water's going to come in from here, I guess, if you pop this out, but I don't know. What's the lesser of two evils? I don't want to make the front too light because then it'll fall over backwards. So maybe the next thing for me to do is to cut the back off. But that's kind of the hardest part to cut, I think. So I kind of have to be under it. I have to cut the underside first and then cut the top so that it falls. If I cut the top first and then cut the underside, well, it's going to fall on me, isn't it? So, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Right here's that majorly big brace for the fuel tank that I've just tried to cut straight through, that I'm not going to be able to. Shit. Of all the places I wanted to cut, had to be there. I really want to just cut straight through here, but because the frame rail's so thick, I don't know how I'm going to get through it with such a small blade. If I had a Sawzall, that'd go straight through, but I can't justify the money. The Sawzall is going to be around $300, and I'm going to get maybe $50 for this entire chassis. So it's like, in the long run, it's not a waste of money, but it's still, I mean, it'd save me time, but I can't justify it, to be honest. I wonder if I can just get in and do it like a little bit at a time with this. It's going to have to be what I do, because I don't have another choice. And remember, I want to do the underside stuff first, so that I'm not under it when I cut the top and it falls. The key to this is when I'm doing a deep section, use a new blade. And don't waste a new blade on thin stuff like this, because you can do thin stuff with this, if you know what I mean. New blades cut deeper, so save them for the thicker stuff. And I'm in real danger of getting cut here, because there's sharp edges everywhere. This is not an ideal spot to be. With any luck, I'll be able to go right in there and cut right through this wall of the frame rail. Let me show you the area I want to keep. I really want to keep this whole piece, so I did cut into it a little bit there, but that'll be okay. I think we just cut straight along there, right? And then along this seam here, up and over, and then along here, and then that will be a piece that can save another Alto, because that's where they rust the most. And if I can supply someone with this mounting area, then they might be able to get rid of the spot welds, like remove the spot welds from their car too, and then weld this one in place. And that will save an Alto, hopefully. So yeah, that is the plan. Now how to do it. More blades, I guess. I've just wasted about 5 minutes looking for the key to, well, is it the key? The tool that you use to lock this so you can get the blade out. Looked everywhere for it. Looked everywhere, and I just found it. And you want to know where I found it? I'll show you. Ready? There. In there. How the hell did it get in there? Unbelievable. I want my life back. Give me my life back. I just can't get to this corner with the blade. It's hitting this, it's hitting this, so I'm gonna have to try and just bend this out of the way, I suppose. Bend it up, maybe? I don't really know. Even first cut's gonna be difficult, honestly, because all this shit's in the way. Shit. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? For free. That took a lot more work than it should have. But I did get the piece out of there. So now I'm not sure anyone's going to want this piece, but if they do, well, then I have one. They can cut this off and then clean it up, get rid of the spot welds, and then keep that piece to save a C chassis. Okay, there's that. Honestly, that was a lot more work than I bargained for. I'm not looking forward to doing the other side, but I have a bit of a better idea of how to do it, so it might be easier. Also, this has got the panhard rod brace on it, whereas the other side doesn't, so That side should be easier. Still not looking forward to it. That kind of sucked. But yeah, I mean, we're getting through this chassis. We're getting through it. There's I think probably we've got one more difficult section to go, and that'll be where the frame rails join onto the rest of the body, because it's really thick, like difficult to get like this. That space in there, how am I going to get the angle grinder all the way through there to cut both sides of this frame rail? Going to be very difficult indeed. I mean, it's only that long, so I could actually just cut it across there and leave the frame rail attached to this piece totally, like cut it off on the thin metal across there and just leave this as one piece. That's probably the smart thing to do, because trying to cut through the frame rail is just going to waste blades, isn't it? So yeah, I think this will just be two big pieces, and I'll be left with the floor pan. I'll cut along this here, and then maybe this is small enough to go in, or I'll cut it down the middle. Either way, not a huge job. Once the back half is gone, it should be fairly straightforward. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I still have to get that spring. I still have to get that spring mount off, which isn't fun. Check out the Alto. It's all dirty and covered in bits of metal and grinder blade. Yeah, dust. I'm all covered in that shit too. I'm all itchy. It's horrible. Anyway, I'm procrastinating. Let's get this done. Right, let's see if I can do it quicker this time. Because I've done it once, I know what I'm doing. Unlikely. We're going to go straight through here. It's not so heavy anymore. How about we cut it up the middle first? And then we can just, if we cut it up the middle, that'll give us two pieces. And then we can cut it there. And that might actually give us two manageable pieces, actually. Like, so 4 manageable pieces. Just cut it in half, and then, like, literally cut it in half again. That might be enough. This is thin metal through here. As long as I don't go through this bracket, should be pretty easy. Famous last words. Let's give it a go anyway. How are we going to do it? The most dangerous way possible, probably. Probably the best YouTube content. Let's do that. The dumb way. Don't do this. Okay, in the middle there we've got the, what's it called? The handbrake assembly bracket thing. And we've got another one here, looks like. So that's why it hasn't fallen down yet. But don't try this at home. I'm about to switch blades and then just go straight through the whole thing again. It's likely to crash. The thing I'm most worried about is that it falls and then puts a hole in the tent. That will suck. But I've always wanted a window there. Now you might remember this from a previous episode. I will leave a link in the description so you can check that episode out. 2 screws here. And it was at this point while editing that I realized I'd made one fatal error. I was looking at the footage and went, oh shit, went down to the blue car to check. Oh shit, major error. This major error that I haven't even done yet. You haven't even seen yet, but I realized I'd done it and wanted to express my grief. Crap. Anyway, on with this. Now what's so bad about that? That is me cutting the bracket that holds the side brake, e-brake, or hand brake, whatever you call it in your country, to the car. So the fact that I just cut straight through the middle of it wouldn't be a problem if the blue car hadn't already been cut, because the previous owner installed that the dash mounted, what do you call, I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like it's a pull-out emergency brake, I guess, like a truck. because he put in the column shift, right? And underneath the column shift, there's a pull-out handbrake, and he wanted to run the cable through where that bracket was. So he cut the top of the bracket off. I wanted to cut the top of the bracket off the white car's bracket so that I could weld that back into the blue car, if you're following me. Now I've just cut the damn thing in half. Yeah, so, yeah, I have to fix that, but, well, I mean, I had to fix that. I have already fixed that, but, I mean, we are where we are. Right, now just to decide where to cut it. Ideally, I guess here, because we're going to miss this. So, probably there. It's probably best. Yeah? I mean, having said that though, these pieces would probably fit in the car as is, but more manageable if I cut them in half. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, and that's it, mate. That's how you do it. That's cut up. So, just gotta get that off there. Be careful of the edges. Yeah, give that a bit of a soccer kick there to the side. One of those. This one over here. There we go, that's the end of it. So that'll fit in the either 1 or 2 loads. Probably 1 if I stack it properly. And I think I'll do that, what day is it? It's Thursday. Probably do that tomorrow morning, I think, if the rain lets up. It's not very pleasant to do this in the rain. Now that the white Alto is gone, the ScrapAlto, I have this car space I'm standing in, which means there's more room for activities. What do I do next? Do I work on the white van some more, or do I give the Altezza some love? I think the Altezza needs some love, personally. Yeah, I've got a lot of parts to bolt onto that, so I should probably do that next. Yeah? Alright, let's do that. I'm a bit reluctant to start that. I'm a bit nervous about it. I don't really know why, but I just am. The old Altezza. Like if you asked me to swap cams on a cappuccino, no problem at all. Just probably take me an afternoon, I suppose. Yeah, probably take me an afternoon. Though I'm overthinking the crap out of trying it on the Altezza. I don't really know why. It could be because of the VVTi. It kind of scares me. But, I mean, even changing the exhaust manifold. Like, I've had an HKS exhaust manifold for that thing for about probably 2 years, and I've just never fitted it. But I've got every part that I ever wanted for it now, so I kind of have no excuse. Everything has to go on. Well, anyway, that'll be another episode because that's the end of this one. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you'd like to see what happens next on Garage Kei, possibly that. Not K-car related, but me related. Love that car. Yeah, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, because anything could happen. I gotta give the monkey some love at some point too. Check that thing out, it's so cool. Yeah, like, subscribe, check out the Facebook, because I think I'm going to sell some stuff on Facebook, and you might want something that I have there. The website's kind of not working for me. Getting people to go there's going to suck, and it's just a piece of junk. The website needs completely redoing, so, and I can't do that anymore. I used to be able to do websites, I can't anymore. So, yeah, check out the Facebooks, check out the Instagrams. I'll see you in the next episode. Later.